So let's dig into the details of what you can expect moving forward. Isaac Mashego is an economist at NedBank. He's joining us now live on the program from Johannesburg. Isaac, thank you very much for your time today. So starting with the numbers as our baseline, right? The Rand was at its strongest level so far this year, under 18 Rand to the dollar. JC top 40, close to the year's highs too. But is it still a bit too early for markets to be this positive? Because we still don't have a cabinet in place and it's still really a bit unclear how this government of national unity will work.
Good evening, Rama. This is more of a relief rally more than anything. We're just seeing investors relieved that we have now some certainty regarding the composition of the next government, and therefore we can say with some level of confidence that some policy tilt will be quite clear. Because remember, the big issue even in the president's speech today was about stabilizing the economy. We know that since about 2012 this economy has been growing at a very low rate, and the key hindrances to higher growth being the inefficient network industries, which were a result of poor management of the key state-owned enterprises. So the relief here basically is from investors seeing the light that the macroeconomic reforms that have been in place, at least for the past 2 years, will continue under the incoming government.
Right. So from the outside, watching South African politics, coalition governments at local level have been pretty volatile, right, in the past. And the examples I'm referring to here essentially what's happened at the local level in metros, for example. What needs to be done in this GNU arrangement to ensure that that sort of volatility that we've seen at the metro level is not replicated at a national one?
Sure. Just from a political viewpoint, I expect the coalition government or the government of national unity to be a lot more stable than what we have seen at the local government level. Because at the local government level, due to the failings of many local authorities or municipalities, particularly on financial management. We've seen these parties disagreeing quite extensively due to pulling apart when they basically want to advance the interests of their own constituencies. This time around, we have, if we can just take the two big parties in the government of national unity, we have the ANC and the DA, which really do realize that this is the time to sort out the economy, and there cannot be another chance, because whatever goes wrong, I will say, in this government of national unity will be blamed on one of the parties come the next elections. So I do believe that, on those political and economic considerations, of course, we will see a much more stable government than at the local government level.
Indeed, either they sink, either they float together or they sink together. One last question for you, Isaac. The DA and the African National Congress, they disagree on a whole host of things, and I think that list is longer than the things that they do agree on. But walk us through those matters. What do they actually agree on, and how can that then translate into meaningful policy for households and businesses?
Sure. The two parties disagree primarily on foreign policy, particularly on the Russia-Ukraine issue and the Israel-Palestine issue. And they also, do have some disagreements on the health system. Now, taking into account that, just ahead of the elections, President Cyril Ramaphosa signed the National Health Insurance bill into place, put it into force. So the disagreements primarily related to that. But when it comes to economic policy, the policies of the two parties are very aligned in the sense that, they both do agree that the private sector, for instance, has to play a larger role in growing the economy, the liberalization of key sectors in the economy, for instance, power generation. I mean, about a decade ago, it was unthinkable that the ANC government would open up power generation to the private sector. And we've basically seen that being the case since July 2022. So they are pretty much aligned when it comes to economic policy. No major disagreements. It's basically on foreign relations that, there's got like to be some tensions. But I do not believe that those tensions will result in the agreement crumbling.